Hey folks, and welcome to They Might Be Homesteading. This is our new blog where we focus on making yourself self-reliant around the house, everything from farming to fixing. And today we're focusing on a problem that's probably pretty specific to Phoenix, but the fundamentals of it are important to everyone. If you can see the black broken up asphalt down here, what has happened recently is that we've had our local power utility go through and dig big trenches and modify our alleys and put down this stuff to help cut down the dust. Now the other thing that they did is they stirred up the scorpions. So here in Arizona, scorpions, depending on where you live in the valley, may or may not be a problem, but what we've had over the last few years is with the various haboobs, we've had an influx of more and more scorpions. Now the most important thing to do when it comes to dealing with scorpions around your house is, number one, if you have them, have pest control come and treat for them. But number two is make it as inhospitable as possible. So I've got here just some basic acrylic silicone caulk and my fancy caulking gun. Now you don't need anything anywhere near as fancy as this. A regular caulking gun will do just fine. And what we're going to do out here in the alley is try to make it as inhospitable as possible. Now, we were out here the other night with a black light and we saw them all over the place. So basically what we're going to do is seal up all these cracks in which they can hide. A scorpion can get into something the same as the width of your credit card. So basically anything with a gap wider than your credit card, we're going to seal. The other thing down here, which is another problem, and this happens a lot in older neighborhoods, is you get a buildup of rubble, debris, etc. along the block wall. What we're going to have to do is bring the truck around, put all of this in the back, and take it to the dump, because basically in these rock falls, it's perfect breeding grounds for our little scorpion friends. And so far, half the time when I start flipping these over, I find one. Oh, nope. No, I apparently don't have the luck today. However, I did find a carcass earlier today. So, at any rate, what you do is you put your caulk in your caulking gun, tighten it up, cut the tip off at a slight angle, and I prefer to just use a piece of coat hanger to pop them. And what we're going to do along here is just very slowly and carefully caulk down this corner line. Now the whole point of this is you don't have to fill it all the way in, you just have to create a barrier to entry for new scorpions, and this will technically trap any old scorpions in the wall. And the nice thing about these 18-volt cordless caulking guns is if you're doing a long caulking job, you don't run into the part where your forearms completely poop out from cranking at the caulking lever. Now, as I said, this is actually good information for everyone, because there are two things that we as homeowners battle more than anything else: insects and water. And generally speaking, you do similar things to battle them. So in the case of a fence or a wall or clapboard planking or something up in the northwest or northeast, you do the same thing. You caulk all the gaps. That'll keep the water from getting in and rotting things. It'll also keep insects from getting in and doing things like, I don't know, eating the sills of your house. So once you go over, you run your finger, and you see I've got a nitrile glove on. I do that because this silicone caulk is sticky stuff, and does not want to come off you once you've done it. So here, I just simply smooth out my bead line in the corner, and then you can see I'm taking the excess and putting it in these other grooves. Quite frequently when they do block walls, you've only got vertical mortar every other vertical, and so you've got gaps here as well. Now, as I said, anything bigger than a credit card will allow scorpions to ingress, so here we're sealing everything up. Now the other nice thing to doing this caulking work is that any gaps you have, when you go ahead and paint afterwards, it'll make the surface look significantly better with all those little gaps filled. And so, quite frequently, if we're painting woodwork, like up on the peak of the house over there, we went through and we filled as many holes and cracks in that as possible before painting it to ensure that we got a smooth, clean, attractive surface when we're done. So until next time, I'm going to be doing this whole wall full of caulk to help keep the scorpions away. We will be hauling away the rocks and brush from the outside of the alley, and hopefully that should cut down on our little stingy visitors. See you next time.